Welcome everyone to Blockrocket monthly pitch event organized by RAVESPACE Network. The event will start shortly after my quick introduction about the event logistics. So as this event is going to be big, everyone is going to be muted except for the speakers. If you have any question or suggestion during the talk, you can scan the QR code to join our WhatsApp group and send your question there, and I'll make sure to send it to the moderator. So now I will hand over to Ben so he can introduce all the speakers. Ben, do you want to take over?
Fantastic. Thanks for the intro, for the quick intro, Alex. Yes, hi everyone. My name is Benjamin. I'm the managing director from Blockrocket. Just a few quick words about us. Most of you have already heard about us from some point in the past, so I will keep it quick before we start with the startups. We are a young venture capital firm that focuses on blockchain companies. We invest into pre-seed and seed deals in the blockchain space, equity investment, but since this year also token investments. We're based in Germany, but we invest globally. In Europe, of course, we have the best ecosystem where we can help our portfolio startups. We do 200 to 300,000 euro tickets usually. So we range from 100 to 500, but that's our sweet spot. And we do 10 to 12 deals per year at this point. We're restricted to blockchain-related business models, but we're not restricted to specific industries. So from our portfolio last year and the year before, well, you can see we already invested into quite a few different areas of use cases and industries. Our very first investment, in fact, was the company Venly more than 2 years ago. That has been quite a good success in the last 2 years specifically. So it's a company that focuses on infrastructure for blockchain elements in the gaming industry. But we also invested into NFT event ticketing company, into crypto compliance solution, into NFT marketplaces, crypto trading bots. So a whole range of use cases. Since this year, we're excited to look also in a lot of metaverse and gaming related use cases. So we'll make a few announcements about our recent investments in the coming month. Excited to share news there in a bit. Fortunately, we have a lot of work, but I don't have to do all of this by myself. I have a great team that works with me, or we work together. I'm sure most of you have already had touch points with at least someone in our team. And yeah, that's pretty much it from our side. So if you're looking for investment as a startup, then please feel free to reach out to us. If you have questions about blockchain startups or want to learn something about blockchain startups or meet founders or want to talk from one VC to another, then please reach out to us at any time. And for a quick briefing for today's session, we invited, so this is a monthly format. So every month we have a quick pitch event we invite 4 new blockchain startups in the early stage from around the world. And each startup has a chance to pitch for 5 to 6 minutes the use case that they're currently working on. And we have a Q&A session for 5-6 minutes after where the audience has a chance to ask questions. But most of all, where the attention is, of course, on the jury members that we invite. So usually it's a mix of reputable venture capitalists, angel investors, and academics. And for today, before I introduce or give the chance to introduce the jury members, so we have 4 pitches, 5 minutes pitch, 5 minutes Q&A. At the very end, we also have a voting, which is 50% live. So you as the audience have the chance to participate after 40-45 minutes in voting for which pitch today you like the most. The jury will do so at the same time, and then in the very end, we announce a winner for each event. And yeah, maybe let's start with a quick intro lines about our jury members today before we start with the first pitch. And I would like to give the word to Professor Isabel Welpe for a quick sentences. Hi, Isabel.
Hi, thank you very much for inviting me to be part of this. I am a professor of strategy, and I currently research predicting startup success, focusing on personality and team interactions of the founders team. And the other big research area is blockchain and the components of blockchain, DeFi, and success factors and criteria of DAOs and the blockchainification of large organizations, and what we can do in this German-European ecosystem to get Germany and Europe ahead for once. Yeah, that's what I'm working on.
Fantastic, thanks Isabel. Then second we have Dr. Janosch Oswald from Ernst & Young.
Yes, thank you very much, Benjamin. My name is Janosch. I'm here associate partner with EY Law. I'm a corporate lawyer, and we are here specialized also in order to set up startups and let's say accompany them from the scratch into their internationalization. So for example, I know that a lot of people are knowing TeamViewer. This is, let's say, a unicorn here, which we advised from the beginning. And I'm here a member of the startup initiatives in Germany. So I'm happy to join this team.
Thanks, Janusz. And last but not least, we have Wolfgang from the Blockchain Founders Group.
Yes, hello from Frankfurt. I'm the head of venture capital of Blockchain Founders Group. I'm sort of a regular here on these pitch sessions, so you might have seen my face before. I guess what I can just echo what Isabel and Janusz said. It's just a great time to be founder these days, and it's a privilege to be along with you guys, lending a helping hand where we can, and where we can't, just be amazed at what you can accomplish. So I'm glad to be here with my fellow jury members and excited to hear from our pitch candidates.
Fantastic, thanks guys. Then let's start right it with our first pitch for today from Priya from IntelliAqua.
Hi everyone, delighted to be here today. I'm Priya Guliani, founder and CEO of IntelliAqua. I'm an MIT certified leadership professional and Oxford certified blockchain expert. I have over 10 plus years of technology consulting experience working with FMCG and supply chain clients. I'm an author and international speaker in technology and sustainability space. A field trip to India in late 2020 gave me my sense of purpose to build an inclusive, sustainable, and efficient value chain, empowering the underserved aquaculture farmers to maximize productivity and significantly contribute to United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. We will grow to 9 billion people and need 50% more seafood in the next 15 years. The global aquaculture market stands at $265 billion and is expected to increase at a compound annual growth rate of 6%. As I met numerous farmers, seafood processors, and government officials from the fishery department, my perspective about the industry changed completely. Despite the multi-billion mature industry outlook, aquaculture industry suffers from low-tech adoption. The small and marginal farmers are often excluded from the value chain. Unsustainable practices, high production costs, low yields, stringent export quality audits and certifications are some of the key problems that aquaculture stakeholders face. Also, as you would be aware, the industry is heavily criticized for its complex, data deficient, and particularly opaque supply chains. These provide room for operational inefficiencies and open the door to issues such as antibiotics in the produce, mislabeling frauds, and labor right violations. I, along with my team, chalked out a plan to solve these issues. We tested our model with a proof of concept with Marine Product Export Development Authority of India to onboard and enroll farmers and ponds digitally, demonstrating significant time, cost, human resource, and fraud reduction. We brought down the lead time from 30 days to a matter of minutes. Now we are working to enhance our solution, and we have two key products: IntelliFarm, which is an extension of the enrollment, and then followed by management, monitoring, and advisory services. It provides a holistic view of the production cycle right from the pond preparation to harvesting. It's powered by a proprietary scoring mechanism that measures performance on 4 factors: social, legal, environmental, and technical. Then second is the IntelliTrace, which, as the name suggests, enables traceability of location, status, as well as actors across the pond-to-plate supply chain. Our platform digitizes the farm operations and provides businesses unprecedented visibility and control. Our customers understand what is happening, why it's happening, as it happens. Here's a little preview of what our app looks like. The field agents employed by the seafood processors go into farms to capture all of the farm data. We digitize farm operations, assuring adherence to standard operating procedures, compliances, as well as biosecurity measures. Our platform is powered by a self-sovereign identity solution, ensuring GDPR and PDPB compliance. We register each individual pond and farmer so as to build the traceability layer, which works actually. We've demonstrated our prototype to various stakeholders from the Indian ecosystem, including Marine Product Export Development Authority, National Fisheries Development Board, Directorate of Fisheries, as well as some private processors from Latin America. We've received excellent feedback and have added insight-led improvements back into our roadmap. We've actually received several testimonials about how good the technology that we are building is, but here's a very special one, which is from Dr. Manoj Sharma, who's a renowned shrimp industry veteran and is also the president of Gujarat Aquaculture Society. We combine data, technology, and sustainable practices to achieve triple bottom line of social, economic, as well as environmental impact. We believe in combining profit with purpose, and hence our focus is on maximizing adoption for our technology, uplifting the entire ecosystem, and bringing numerous benefits to the small and marginal farmers. We empower them by technology enablement, driving inclusion, fostering sustainable aquaculture practices, and thus help reducing operation costs and improving yields. We enable them to prove safety and quality of their produce and hence receive bigger share of revenue and market. Our proprietary scoring acts as an auxiliary credit score to help farmers get credit and insurance services. We contribute to the following United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The cherry on the cake: farmer pays nothing and we still make money. Our platform is provided to our customers in a software as a service model with Android and iOS apps for the end users. With our B2B strategy, we'll be providing our solution to processors who would onboard their inspectors and field agents onto our platform. Our B2B positioning will help us scale faster and have a remarkable impact on the ecosystem. To begin with, we were focusing on Indian shrimp industry, which is valued at $5 billion. However, we've realized that come COVID, the conversation became very stalled, given this is not a tech-savvy industry. So we started exploring other venues, and we're now into Latin America market as well. We've identified 4 revenue streams. We have 3 SaaS subscription packages averaged at $25, customizations on our platform, big data and analytical insights for government as well as financial bodies, and expansion to different species and geographies. Our traction thus far: in last 1 year, we've been validated and incubated, attracted potential customers, forged partnerships, been covered by media and international events, and supported by NGOs. Some of the key highlights are: we are one of the top 500 global deep tech startups by Slingshot. We were the semi-finalist in Ocean Exchange and Geovation Challenge. We've done a POC with MPDA. We've been now selected by Startup Chile Accelerator for grant funding and business development support. We've signed 2 LOIs thus far and forged 9 partnerships with companies, industry bodies, and NGOs. We've been validated and incubated by Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore NSR program. We've made significant progress. One team, one vision. As I, along with my team, researched the sector, we knew we had found something that could have a global impact. I, as a technology expert, and my business partner, who's had a 40-year stint with National Fisheries Development Board and Marine Export Authority, saw a tremendous opportunity of combining technology intelligence with aquaculture science to improve the yield, enhance the income, and multiply the exports. We're a global team with one objective: transform the seafood sector using technology intelligence and foster sustainable operations. Our potential customers and investors see the right balance of techno-functional skills in the team needed to make this venture a success. Our core team includes engineers, thought leaders, each with in-depth industry experience in their respective areas, working with prestigious organizations. We have a very strong global and diverse advisory board, helping us steer in the right direction at a fast pace. Our advisory board includes Zef Siegel, who is the original co-founder of Starbucks Coffee Company, and some renowned names like Rebecca Huang, Tom Kosnick, and Arcelia Molnar.
Priya, we need to cut it short, unfortunately. Can you last sentence?
That's the last slide. We're looking to raise $1 million to give us a runway of 4 quarters. We plan to use the funds to scale and expand our work. For the first year, we have earmarked 40% for tech development and 40% for sales and marketing, with the rest 20% going into legal and contingency reserve. Thank you for your time and attention. I'm happy to answer any and all questions.
Fantastic. Thanks, Priya. And yeah, do we have some questions from the jury side?
Okay, then maybe I'll just kick you off. Thanks very much, Priya. You're addressing a very worthy cause with obviously an urgent and important pain point. I didn't quite catch who's actually paying for it. You said it's not the farmer. Is that because there are benefits that compensate for the costs, or how is this being refinanced?
Sure. So we work in a B2B model. Our customers are seafood processors, government bodies, and NGOs. Particularly, we very consciously decided not to go in a B2C market, because then you have to target each and every individual farmers. Farmers are not tech savvy. It's really difficult to get them to use their applications, mobile phones, and feed data into it. And hence we are going B2B so as to leverage and have a maximum impact on the industry. So seafood processors would be our primary customers, who have to actually show at the port that their produce is sustainable and fits all of the quality measures.
Okay, thanks.
Room for one more question? No audience questions so far. I guess, yeah. Sure, go ahead.
I have a question. Thank you, Priya, for your presentation. You said you will raise $1 million US, I think, and from this money you will spend 40% in technology. I think it was the last slide.
Yes.
What is the main point where you put in your technology? What is the key technology you think you need in order to be successful?
So we are using blockchain, artificial intelligence, and geographic information systems. The reason to use blockchain is an obvious one, that we've tried and tested centralized mechanisms and those don't work. There is an ample opportunity for us to move on to decentralized. So we want to ensure that I, as a technology enthusiast and who has worked in the industry for so many years and understood the pain points, leverage the right technology for this too. Geographic information system is really key, because then you can ensure that each of the pond gets individually monitored, and we are able to capture all of that coordinates, so that there are no frauds with respect to, there is one thing that's very common. So for example, one farm would get the certification, and then all of the adjacent farmers would give their produce to that farmer, that can you sell this one off as well. So we're trying to limit all of those frauds, etc. as well, wherein blockchain for its immutable characteristics, artificial intelligence for providing the intelligent insights that we are sharing with our customers, and then finally GIS is quite important. So those are the key stacks other than the general technology stack that we use.
Okay, thanks.
All right. I think it was quite a clear pitch. Then thanks a lot for your pitch, Priya. Then I would suggest we move on to the second pitch for today.
Thank you, Ben.
Which would be Eitan from Diversifi.
So, hi everyone. My name is Eitan Katz. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Diversifi. And we're on a mission to enable efficient liquidity transfer across chains. So when we look at the status quo today in the DeFi space and Web3 in general, so we see that there is a lot of fragmentation between the chains. We see fragmentation of liquidity, of functionality, and of data. From a point of view of an app developer, that hinders adoption, because it becomes very difficult and time-consuming, and it has some security challenges to create real multi-chain applications. Just as an example, if you want from a Solana app to use Ethereum tokens, that is impossible unless you use bridges, which I'll refer to in a minute. On top of that, there is a complete isolation between DeFi and Web3 and centralized finance and traditional finance in the protocol and the technology level. And that is because of technical limitations and also structural and regulatory limitations. The result is that due to this kind of fragmentation, we see more siloed ecosystems and also poor user experience for the applications that are trying to be multi-chain. Our solution is taking a different approach from the common bridges approach. Our solution has three main components. The first component is liquidity pools. So we have native liquidity pools in each and every chain, and the settlement layer. That's the second component. So if we want to move liquidity from one chain to the other, all we have to do is to move the token from the wallet to the native liquidity pool on the source chain. The settlement layer validates the transaction and then releases credits the wallet on the target chain from the liquidity pool on the target chain. So basically, there's an instant finality, and it's mostly an accounting action rather than minting new synthetic tokens. The unique value proposition here is that we have an adaptive monetization model. The liquidity providers who provide liquidity to the pools, they get compensated, they get rewards based on the level of the liquidity that is available. And the system would incentivize liquidity providers to provide the liquidity in the pools that need that liquidity most. We plan to extend and support also fiat using exactly the same mechanism, and thus enable an on-ramp and off-ramp solution. And the overall orchestration layer, the settlement layer, is a decentralized one, meaning all the transactions are going through this decentralized validation, and not a centralized entity that can block any specific player. The growth potential. So we start with moving crypto to crypto among chains that we expect that volume to be in the billions on a daily basis, then to extend it to crypto fiat and vice versa. And finally, the same settlement layer would be able to also handle fiat to fiat transactions. And that is a multi-trillion-dollar market a year. The team, we have a vast experience in the management team from multiple spaces and areas. Myself, I have over 3 decades of experience in technology and strategy. Guy, the CTO, has 25 years of hands-on and management experience in the tech space. We have additional people from traditional finance, operations, and the blockchain space. We are now in the middle of a funding round. We're issuing we started issuing a token sale. Right now, it's a private sale. We're looking to raise around $5 million, of which 30% is already committed. The use of the proceeds would be to accelerate the development and hire additional developers to move faster, address regulation and compliance challenges. These are areas that obviously require time and legal help to obtain the needed licenses, the partnerships and the service providers, and the building the ecosystem. We are a B2B kind of business. So we need to build an ecosystem of app developers and financial institutions to be the major users of this protocol. So that's it from me.
Fantastic. Thanks, Eitan. Do we have some questions from the jury side?
And can you maybe say briefly the main consumer pain points and how they will experience transactions differently using your services from a consumer or customer perspective?
Yeah. So when we look at the application that are available today, so most of them need to choose one ecosystem. So you're developing an app on Ethereum, on Solana, Polygon. You basically have to choose where you're putting all your efforts, and that basically limits the functionality that is available for you. I can give you a specific example, which actually led us to this, wanting to solve this problem. We started by developing some financial institution applications, hedging strategies. And we were talking to a Solana project, and we wanted to provide hedging using future contracts that we wanted to leverage from DYDX. And the whole, now we had a Solana application and we needed the future contracts from the Ethereum ecosystem. We had to work really hard in order to utilize it. So from a user perspective, you can still borrow, you can still lend, you can still do yield farming, but as a user, you would expect to get the maximum functionality to provide the maximum value, and that doesn't need to just be limited to the specific ecosystem on which the app developer chose to develop.
Eitan, what is the, Eitan, Wolfgang, I mean, what is the, let's call it the rocket science here? I mean, what makes your business model pretty safe from attacks from copycats?
Yeah, so a couple of things. One is the consensus mechanism that we're building. That is basically the security part. So we're building that ourselves. We're not, obviously we're using components, so we're building it on top of Cosmos on Tendermint, but we want the protocol to be secured. And that is the whole way of how we choose the nodes that will validate the transactions is something that we innovate and build ourselves. For instance, we will have 2 tiers of node operators, which will be selected in different ways, which is yet another level of security. The second innovation is in the way that we incentivize liquidity providers. The whole success of this platform is built on the willingness of LPs to provide their liquidity. And how are we incentivizing them? So usually there are some flat models like, Uniswap, you get 0.3% from the volume in the pool. In our case, we are using game theory in order to adapt the incentives based on the level of the liquidity in the pool that you entered. And that incentivizes LPs to move their liquidity to places where we need that most. So we're building this system to automatically, and using game theory with rewards, to make sure that all the pools are balanced. And if there is some kind of imbalance, we will use rewards in order to incentivize the transfer of liquidity to where it's needed. And that's not an easy task.
Okay, thanks.
We have an audience question, Eitan, like who comes close currently from a competitive perspective?
Okay, so obviously the landscape, this is a problem. We're not the only ones who are trying to solve it. So we see many bridges. Those are, the most notable one is the Wormhole. Those bridges use a completely different approach. They use a lock and mint. So they create synthetic tokens on the target chain, which we believe is not ideal because it has some attack surfaces and it creates some capital inefficiency. On the liquidity pool kind of approach that we take, the most notable competitor is Thor. With the token Rune, but their liquidity pools are dual-sided, and that opens the risk of impermanent loss, which is a huge risk for the liquidity providers. Our pools are one-sided pools, so there's no impermanent loss. And there's also a very notable player called Stargate from Layer 0. Their solution is again, taking a similar approach, but they don't have the settlement layer. So they don't have the validation layer. They use the direct messages between the pools, and they don't get all the benefits that the settlement layer provides.
All right. Thanks. Then for time reasons, thanks, Eitan. For time reasons, let's jump to the next startup for today, which is Frank from RAVESPACE.
I'm back again. Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me. I'm going to share my screen. Give me a sec, please. All right. Okay, great. Okay, I'm Frank. I'm managing director of RAVESPACE. As you can read our claim, we built the metaverse. We are a startup founded last year, January. And who we are a team of metaverse enthusiasts. We are designing and implement 3D cutting-edge browser experiences. So our main asset is to implement 3D environments, experiences running in the browser. But not only on the browser, it's also running on every device. That means on your cell phone, also on VR glasses. And we were founded January last year. Our turnover was 175,000 euro, and our profit was 35K, which I think is not too bad for a startup raised out of our own pockets. So it's all bootstrapped. What's our experience and what we do? As I said, we develop these experiences, and it's you can think of single player experience, multiplayer experience. We implement voice chats, real-time voice chats. It's cross-device. We can even implement customized avatars, and of course also we implement NFTs and blockchain solutions. So the problem is everybody wants metaverse, but nobody really not knows how to serve this, but because there are already some solutions, but most of these solutions are, the level of detail is not very nice. It's hard to get in. You need to download an app, or you need to, it's hacky, it's not really seamlessly. So, and also, for example, if you think of Decentraland, there is no implemented direct RTC voice chat, so people need to go to Discord, and so the experience is not that great. So our solution is we built our own web engine, which is called the Rave engine. And the opportunity is that it runs on every device. It's easy to implement in any websites. Also, the running cost is very low, as we are not using cloud rendering, which were like millions of computer rendering in the cloud and produce a lot of cost. It's basically you download the experience, and then everything is rendered in the browser. And of course, that we can implement. Let me switch this so I can see it better. Integration of blockchain. So basically, we started originally with. I showed you with cases later. You can see a picture of how that does look like. We have already lots of projects developed in the music space, but also in the art space. You see how a single player look like a multiplayer look like. We already have customers. Our business model up to date is like an agency business. So far, and that's what I want to explain where we want to heading to. So far, we just have had customers, but already some really nice customers like Porsche. We're also building the Hertha-verse, which is also a great project. We built a museum for Wolfgang Beltracchi, which was or still is one of the greatest art forces in the world, and also some really interesting projects with Sleek Magazine and James Fashion. We're also partnering with License Rocks because they provide their white label blockchain solution if we want to implement it in the customer's development order. Also, we are partnering with NIA. We have partnering with Telecom because of our server structure, Xsense, Canoda Studios, and 3D. Which is great. These are some of the examples we have done. I'd like to shift that, and I will follow Ben's invitation to do that live. So I'm gonna show this after the presentation. But as I show, I'd like to show you 3 projects of us, but just in a quick rush. So that was what we have done so far, and because we realized everybody wants spaces, but not everybody has, of course, only brands have the possibility to pay like 50,000 or even higher for a customized for a customized 3D experience. So what we want to go and do is we change our development towards our own engine, and we want to develop this further as a software as a service product, which means we are going to launch a huge meta world where already the projects we already have done will be implemented. It's free, everybody can join, it's running in the browser. And so in the first phase, we have this, this land where we already implement these nice projects. Imagine you have like a nice gallery, like König Gallery, and then you go outside, and then you can also head over to Porsche, a showroom, whatever. And but that's all custom. And then the next phase will be that these brands and also creative users can pick their spaces, build their spaces by custom templates. And in the third phase, we will also offer this on a B2C level. That means everybody can create his own space. Yeah, so that's just, I mean, that's not how it will look like, but that's just the idea. And here are already some of the projects we are already developing, and it's going to be a nice like cultural land where brands and events and everything can take place, which is kind of fun. Yeah, the product is, as I described, this online world. We offer this service as and also the subscription models. We have the usual marketing channels, and our future revenue model is monthly subscription, in-game purchases, and of course on the B2B level, it's also custom development of a monthly subscription, advertisement, and in-game sales. Yeah, that's the business model I already described. And also it's way more, because as we can implement these worlds, we can also create a WordPress plugin so people can integrate their experience inside their website. And that's the beauty. Imagine we made a website, a virtual experience for a museum, and people get into that museum, are in this world, but also can get out of the door and are in this land. So that does not necessarily mean that they have to be in that land. They can also enter this, they enter to that land, they can also enter through their website, which is great. This is the subscription model. It will be free for everybody to visit.
We're running a little bit short on time, so I would suggest
okay.
Jump over to your quick demo.
Okay. The vision is we are building a better which is everything is great, his own space to represent between friends, experience, art, hold, and meaning. So quickly a demo. This is one of our projects. We have done our own projects. It's not a customer. It's called Musicity Central. We have the largest NFT museum in the meta world, in the metaverse, and here you see how easy it is to get in. You just click on the link, and then you are directly entered this world. And the cool thing about this museum is it's multiplayer. So when you would be entering now, we could see each other, we could have a conversation. We have here, this is our curated room. There's somebody entering. Okay, so, and also here is also a curated area, which we currently have a switch, so there's nothing displayed. And the situation here is that we have 222 frames, and these frames itself are NFTs. That means you can purchase a frame as NFT and inside your art, your NFT art within the frames, like somebody's done here. And yeah, you have to check it out by yourself. It's massive. It has 4 floors and plenty of great art going on inside. And yeah, it's running on every device. And this is just one of our products we already have done so far.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and
thanks for the demo.
Yeah, this is in the browser. You can see here, it's in the browser. Easy. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Frank. Yeah. Do we have some? Do we have some questions from jury side?
Yes, I do. If I may.
Sure.
Super interesting, Frank. Thanks very much. I'm looking for an analogy what you're doing. I mean, if we look at the internet world and with websites, would it be fair to say you're something like a website builder for the metaverse? Obviously, it's not websites, but it's spaces. So like a Squarespace, or I mean, what would you compare yourself best in the old world to?
Yeah, probably Wix for the metaverse.
Yeah, like Squarespace, Wix, yeah.
Kinda, because I mean, even though I told you that we're gonna build this huge land, but at the same time, it's totally scalable, because people can build their own space, even customized or by template, and then implement it in their website. So basically, yeah, it's we provide the 3D spaces in the web for, yeah, especially what's happening at the moment. I mean, we are absolutely in the middle of the web is turning into from 2D to 3D. Yeah.
Do you maybe a question from my side? Do you yourself element already for clients, or how hard would that be to build? So if a client comes to you today, then you build this like world for them, or how easy would, because Wix, the selling point of Wix or Squarespace is that it's very easy to build your own website, right? You don't need to have
yeah, therefore I was a little bit rushing about through these 3 phases. At the moment, of course, people just ask us for a customized world, so we can build it based on their needs. But the future will be that we do this in the first step, still going on with customized development, but also for example, if you still see this where I'm now, this is basically this is a custom space here in Berlin. This building does really exist, and also the thing was that we want that the client wants to have a third-person view. So as you can see, I can, you know, it's because they want to sell clothes. So we needed to implement avatars that they can see the clothes on the people that are joining. So at the moment, to answer the question, at the moment, it's all custom. But the next level will be that we are building a template generator that people can pick out of templates. Then it's going to be super easy. And the final goal will be that even the templates can be like be modified by the customers.
Understood. Cool. Then for sake of time, I would suggest we jump to the next pitch. But if everyone has questions, please follow up with Frank after, or reach out to us.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
I have so much to tell, but yeah, I understand the time. Thanks a lot for yeah.
Thanks for the pitch and for the demo, Frank. Cool. Thanks. Then yeah, last but not least for today is Philip from Klangchat.
Hello, hi, I'm Philip Crescent. Hold on, let me just share the screen. And the correct one would be nice. Yes, perfect. Okay, can you see that?
Yes, full screen.
Great, cool. So I'm Philip Crescent. My background is in classical music and media. I used to, produce music. I had a band career in Argentina with an indie rock band. And from that, I founded a magazine, a cultural magazine that later turned into a cultural network. So this is kind of how I got into founding companies. And now, yeah, I'm here to present our app called Klangchat, which is a social audio app, which helps you turn your voice messages into little music videos that you can share on any messenger or online. Because our motivation is we want to help people to communicate in a more emotional and authentic way. And we think that it's the human voice and music that is the best form to do that. So we've seen like all these different shifts over time, from email to web pages to social media in the 2000s. And now we have entered the era of relationship-centric communication with mostly chats, messaging, private chats, and so on. And let me see. Okay, it's not changing. Oh yeah. So what we've also seen is that voice communication is back, but not as in telephoning, but in voice messages. and it's become a very integral part of chatting as music and voice. And this is where we see the opportunity. It's because there's no way to make these voice messages more emotional and rich in expression. And at the same time, advertisers struggle to reach Generation Z in these private chat environments. So our solution is our voice and music chat app, which allows you to instantly merge your voice with music. You can, this is what we're working on right now, is that you can create NFTs and also a chat to earn system. So basically you get rewarded for chatting or other actions. And also you can engage with your favorite brands, musicians, influencers, whatever, with interactive stickers that we've also built into that system. I'm not gonna bore you with that. So yeah, I'm just gonna give you a little quick demo of our MVP. So yeah, here is, if you can see it, this is a record screen. You just record a voice message. Hey, I'm doing a Blockrocket, bitch. Hey, I'm doing a Blockrocket, bitch. So you can either use your own images, or you can use like different avatars. Hey, I'm doing a Blockrocket, bitch. And you can basically share these. Yeah, anyway. So you can share it like instantly to Snapchat or instantly to Instagram or any other messenger, basically as a little video file. So you can easily create these little snippets. And what we are addressing here is like 4 big markets that we've identified: voice messaging, music, content snippets, and also branded content marketing, which is getting bigger and bigger because the advertising industry is changing a lot. And yeah, our business model in all of this is in-app purchases of music and sticker packs, later on subscription model for premium features. And once we build NFT marketplace for the stickers and the music, also royalties and transaction fees. And of course, the last element is branded content marketing, music promotion, affiliate links, all that kind of things. So hold on. And we've tested this actually with biggest movie franchise in India called Bahubali. We created 4 of their movie characters in the app and tested it on their users. And we saw that 60% immediately sent a message to a friend of the movie characters, and 2% even purchased a sticker pack for $2. So basically we created brand ambassadors that were doing word of mouth marketing. So that was our proof of concept. This is the team. So we've got Henning Rambo. He's also coming from music and music publishing, and as well communication. I've already introduced myself. Julian is from product designer from Native Instruments. And then we have Piotr, who's our CTO. So yeah, we've got really good retention. We've seen that we are way better than the average of music apps or media apps. Some say we have product market fit. We don't quite believe it yet, but working on it. So yeah, we've been generously invited by the German Ministry for Economy to exhibit at South by Southwest just recently now in their German pavilion. We got a grant for 100K. We've been also invited to be at Web Summit with the German pavilion. We've got some letters of intent with Ströer Media Brands and Sony Music. And we're part of the Media Tech Hub Accelerator program in Potsdam. And yeah, we are raising our seed round for 500K. And yeah, we are looking to further develop the app, create the gamification, and of course, the whole token economy, as well as NFT marketplace. So yeah, thank you very much. And see ya.
Thanks a lot, Philip. Thanks for your pitch. Great. Then 2 pitches of product demos today. I think we should do more product demos in the future with startups. That makes it a bit more interactive. So thanks a lot, guys. Before we jump to the Q&A, just quickly for everyone, we should do the voting now, because then we have time for the Q&A while we evaluate the results. So for the jury members, I ask you please to use the Google form that we've sent you right now. Just take a minute, and if you already completed, then you can already start asking Philip your first questions.
So can we already ask questions, or? But I don't want to go first again. Isabella, Janos?
Sorry?
You want to go first? I hate to jump in again, but
sure. Yes, thank you very much for the presentation. Very interesting. I was just wondering, when I see a presentation, that I could imagine that you have quite hard competitors in the market. And what is your key factor that makes you different from those? For example, we know that Facebook and Sony and all the other guys are working on the same level. And what makes your product different?
Well, I think because we think about the voice first and audio, and I think everything else is pretty visual. So we built everything around there. I mean, of course, it's like our know-how of coming from music and production. We are implementing a lot of interesting algorithms so that the voice is like on beat. What we're working on is that we're building that the voice will be in pitch, but very like subtly, you won't hear it, to make like a greater product. And then, of course, what we are also working on is spectral analysis in conjunction with machine learning. And what we've recently been able to do is have a style GAN, very complex style GAN that cartoonizes yourself working on the phone. So we're going to do this also with the voice. So analysis of the voice on the phone, where you can like do things like, we give it like the task of you sounding like Eminem, but it's like not your voice, but the rhythm, like you automatically. So basically using machine learning for these audio manipulations. So I think we're quite ahead with these kind of things, and I think we're going to come out with some very, very cool things we can do with it. So I don't know if so many people are working from that angle. I think it's usually more visual, like TikTok, for example. It's like the other way around. You create a video of yourself with like music that's already there. We take it like as the central thing is we start with the voice and music first and build outside of that. Some of the advantages that we're going to have is we're going to be able to identify demographics as well as age, sex, probably cultural background, and also we're working on identifying the emotional state, but all of that on the phone. So we will never receive any biometric data. And with that, we can we can get like metadata though, where we can also give you the right sort of content for you, personalized, but we don't know who you are. So these are kind of things I think where we're quite ahead of others at this time, and I'm not sure if so many people are so intensely working on those kind of ideas.
Room for one or two more questions.
Isabel, you want to take a go?
Last chance.
Philip, one question. Is this a different app altogether, or can it be integrated into existing apps? So how does it work? I mean, could I use this tool to send a message via WhatsApp, for example?
Yes, I mean, exactly. I mean, you can do that now already because it basically creates a little video and that you can share on any platform, like you can native share it. We've built in the Snapchat API and the Instagram API so that you can directly share to those two. And then we're also, because we've had a lot of people actually contact us about integrating, we're building an API so that others can integrate us into their service. So basically kind of like Giphy, you know how you could just like use Giphy, but it's in whatever messenger. So we want to give other messengers the opportunity and the technical possibility to just integrate us easily. Yeah, and I mean, you know, because there's not just the big messengers, there's so many apps that have a messaging service integrated into them. And and we actually got a lot of people speaking to us at these fairs and stuff about integration. I mean, actually Snapchat actually approached us as well now at South by Southwest. That's why I'm in Los Angeles right now, because I'm still having meetings. So, I mean, there's multiple ways we can integrate, and yeah, surely we're working on as many as possible. So also on the horizon is a potential browser version, because a lot of things go into browser, and you can actually work a lot with audio now again in browsers, or for the first time, not really again. So that's another angle we're taking, to be available in as many places as possible.
Very cool, thanks.
Sure.
Fantastic. Yeah, thanks. And I think that almost closes it for today. So it was a pretty close call between the last two pitches, so between the metaverse use case and Klangchat today. So winner is, close call is Frank with RAVESPACE. So congratulations.
Oh, I'm happy. Thanks a lot.
Likewise, our team will follow up with you and write some nice story about it. And yeah, at this point, yeah, thanks for the startup founders for the time. Thanks for presenting today. We will upload the episode in the coming days online, so feel free to also share it with colleagues or other VCs that might look into your case. Thanks especially to Drew members for taking the time. It was a pleasure to host you, and of course, thanks to the rest of the team for hosting this. And looking forward to see everyone in, I think, 2 weeks for our next panel event. That's it from our side. Thanks, guys.